What's up, weirdo? Shadetree Surgeon here, once again taking my life into my own hands, or into Flip's hands, really. And we're heading out on the Flip-Nah-mobile, the Franken 48. Oh man, my voice is a little worse for wear, boys. I spent all weekend yelling. If you didn't know, now you know. The bar that I manage is in Ybor City, and when this video comes out, you'll probably have noticed that Ybor City's making national news right now. Hosting the Super Bowl has not gone well for us. Unfortunately, I think there was something like 6 shootings in my district in the last 3 days. Pretty wild, man. Tampa needs to do better, and as I said, by the time this comes out, I'm sure Ybor City is going to be in national news once again. Even if you don't watch the national news and you're just on YouTube like I am, yeah, I actually saw All Gas and No Brakes in Ybor City. I saw him down there filming. I'm a huge fan of his channel. I think he just does some of the best content on YouTube. Really the kind of content that I come to YouTube for, that independent content like that. You know, it's all really fun and games and it's all hilarious until it's your city that he's making fun of. Hey, what can I say though? You know why All Gas No Brakes was here? Because we freaking deserved it. It actually got so bad in Ybor City that I will tell you, I closed down the bar early. I mean, we're a bar, dude. I love a wild time, but it was so wild on the streets that I just had to say my staff isn't safe. I don't feel safe. I closed the whole freaking bar down.
All right, brother, man. Love you, brother. Be safe, you guys. Yeah.
Thank you. You too. Well, like, what are the horses doing right now? People are just like letting them go by. Oh, yeah. And then like walking right back in the middle of the road. The horses aren't doing anything.
They're just shitting on the road.
Yeah. Go that way. So there they are. They're just like,
dude, I don't even watch sports ball, all right? So I don't really could give a rip about the Super Bowl or whether my home team's in it. Like, that's fine if you do. I just don't care about it. And it makes me not like sports even more now that not only has it affected people's livelihoods, it's killed some people. It's affected my own wallet because I had to close early. Like, you know what? Super Bowl, you can freaking keep it. So that's enough about sports that involve balls. Let's go to the shop and work on some motorcycles. That's a sport I can get behind. I prefer my sports with wheels, not with balls and tights. All right, up at the shop, this time without any female distraction. Let me tell you, it might be a little more lonely working solo up at the shop, but you tend to get a lot more done. First thing on the menu today, even though I've got a shiny new GO 1500 6-cylinder Goldwing, the mail order Glide. That doesn't mean I've forgotten about old Raspberry Buffet here. This bike took me all the way across the country and back, so we're just not gonna let it sit around with a broken starter. I've read a couple things online that says you can get the starter out without dropping the exhaust. I'm gonna try to do that first. If I can't do it, then I'll drop the exhaust, but I'm gonna see if it can be done. Unfortunately, everybody also says that you have to change the starter while it's on the side stand because the cog that the starter goes into will fall out of place and you might have to remove the engine. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous going into this, but hey, what's the worst that could happen? All right, first things first, whenever we're messing with the starter, first thing you gotta do is disconnect the battery. By the way, these covers, these left-hand battery covers are really prone to coming off, so if you need a new one, the right-hand cover for this bike costs about 50 bucks on eBay. This cover costs about 200. Next up, I'm gonna try to take off as few pieces of plastic as possible because it's really easy to break them, but this piece at least is gonna have to come off. I'm really not looking forward to doing this whole thing sitting on the ground, but that's the way it says you gotta do it. All right, I'm on my back working on the bike. Not my favorite place to be. Not gonna film most of this because I don't have anything to set my camera up with down here, but got the gear shift off, which is the first part of what I read needs to come off to get this without removing the exhaust. So let's keep on going. All right, I've got the 2 8mm bolts removed. The starter is broken free from the motor. From everything I understand, it's just a matter of wiggling it and canoodling it and turning it cattywampus and sideways and widdershins until it comes out. So I'm gonna try to do that.
2 hours later.
So, update. Things have escalated quickly. And now I have the bike half apart, still trying to get the starter out. Looks like the exhaust is gonna have to come out, which necessitates not just taking one side off, but taking both sides off. So It is now well over an hour later. I've got nuts and bolts and pieces of this bike scattered everywhere. Check back in with you guys soon. Okay, update time, boys and girls. So we're gonna go ahead and file this job under usual Shadetree surgeon method of not going well. So I've got to get that exhaust stud out. In true my luck, every single exhaust stud came out with the bolt. That's up for the one I needed to come out. So I've got 2 nuts on there. Try and pull this one last exhaust stud out so I can then pull this starter out. It's probably an easier way to do this, but I'm alone and I don't know it. So we're doing it the hard way.
Eventually.
Ha! 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 He cries again. The new starter is in. Now to figure out how all this plastic goes back together. Check in again with you guys, probably not so soon. The problem with Goldwings is a problem with having a hard drive or a bigger phone. You know, you get the bigger one because you're running out of space, and then you get so much space it makes you not treat your space with any kind of responsibility. So you still run out. No, the problem isn't the Goldwing, the problem is me. All right, let's see what that starter's supposed to sound like. Well, that's a lot different. Well, that part isn't that different. Still a carbureted bike. Yes, let me enjoy the fruits of my labor, the mighty raspberry buffet. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, changing that starter was a freaking nightmare. Here's the thing about Goldwings. So what you gotta understand is, yes, they usually run forever without any sort of problems, but when you do have to work on them, get ready to beat your head against the wall for 6 hours. Well, I'm sure a guy who's experienced with working on Goldwings would probably have that starter in and out in less than an hour, but I am not that guy. It's the Shadetree surgeon we're talking about here, the guy who has to do everything twice. So what turned into the job of like, hey, you can get it out without removing the exhaust, meant I had to drop the whole exhaust. I had to take multiple body panels off. I think it probably took me about 5 or 6 hours to actually change the starter. Now, if I had just done it the way you're supposed to instead of trying to cheat and get it out without removing the exhaust, it would have taken me less time. But hey, I'm an idiot and I'll stick my head through enough loopholes so one closes around my neck, which it usually does. Let me tell you, working on something with this many screws and this many odd places on all these plastic pieces on this thing and fighting it and just having a bad time on your back is not the most fun thing in the world. That was a incredibly frustrating experience, but still rewarding because now I am riding a running motorcycle, or a starting motorcycle. It ran before, it was the starting that was the problem. All right, up here at the post office, dropping off a couple of reissued letters here because USPS, man, you guys suck, dude. Another one lost in the mail and another one that showed up ripped in half with no stickers inside. What the heck, man? Well, fingers crossed these actually make it. So yes, working on the Goldwing sometimes can be quite frustrating, but it's something that I can control, at least a little bit. So I didn't film it, but in between me getting to the shop and me starting to work on the Goldwing, I got a call from my parents' house. As if you guys been watching the channel for a long time, you know my dad's very ill and very close to death right now. I'm not going to get into it, but it's kind of we have a very strange relationship, with my family in general. So I got that call and I had to go over there because he was saying, please don't pull out on me. I don't know why I'm laughing. He was basically said, I want to die. He's saying I want to die today. So I said, okay, let me stop what I'm doing right now and head over there. He didn't die. So here again, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. I've never read that book, but I always reference it. I actually don't even know what it's about. I just my own Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. You know, my father, my relationship with him, and his mortality is a situation that I cannot control. And when you can't control a situation, it's frustrating, and there's a feeling of helplessness and anger and just general depression. Well, I knew after leaving there, I had to go work on the Goldwing because this is a situation, even though it is also incredibly frustrating, it does make me very angry, and it was something I really didn't want to do. I didn't want to change the starter because it's not fun. I knew it was going to make me angry, and even outside of all that stuff, I can't really film it because I'm doing it on my back, so it's not even something that I can really make into content, so it's just a loser on all angles. But even though it was hard, even though it was difficult, even though I didn't want to do it, It's a situation that I can control. I can control the outcome. I can take a broken Goldwing. I can take my broken 1987 Raspberry Buffet, the Goldwing Aspencade. I can take it from not working to working through using my brain. My brain was up to the task. My body was up to the task, just barely up to the task, by the way, because I still really struggled. But it was up to the task, and I achieved it, and I controlled the situation, and the results are now I have a running motorcycle. I just think that there's an important lesson there, and whether you create art or you work on motorcycles or whatever you may do to bring yourself peace, I think it's important when you run into situations in your everyday life that you can't control that bring you such frustrations because they're so beyond your control and you feel so helpless. It's important to look at what you can control and to try to achieve something. You know, everybody deals with stress differently, so I'm not saying that this is the best way for you to deal with it, but this is how I deal with it, is when I'm confronted with a very stressful situation that I don't have a lot of control over, I look around me and say, what can I do? What can I achieve? What can I put my mind to and make better and make a positive change? And it's as simple as making this old piece of crap bike that I paid $2,000 for run again. But it's still, it brings me back into the right frame of mind again. It gets me back into a place of saying that no matter how much in my life might be outside of my control, there are still things here that bring me great pleasure that I can control. I don't know. You take what you want out of that. I don't know what you're going to take from that, but if you can take something out of that that'll help you, please do. I'm not even sure if it's helping me really, but at least for the day, it's helping me. Can't lose my Garfield. Went across the country and back with me. All right, back at the shop. And speaking of finding worth through struggling, which is basically being around me at all, you better learn how to love struggling, because we're always on the struggle bus here at Brat Star Garage. We got Shay doing her best cheese ball impression over here. I'm gonna have to put them back up on the shelf here pretty soon. We're getting the Green Goblin off the lift so she can get her Pacific Coast, which is outside right now, on the lift.
Did I just look at my armpit in that shot?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Is there anything in there?
No.
Yeah, some cheese dust in there now.
I was eating with my other hand.
So, let's get the Green Goblin off the lift, get the PC Pacific Coast 800 on the lift, and let everybody freak out and say, you're never going to finish the Green Goblin. You're never going to, well, we can't finish it today. We don't have the required stuff to finish it today, but we can put it back together, and we can work on the Pacific Coast and it's got a little bit of a brake issue. We can do that today. So we are going to control what we can. All right, it's time to head out. The Green Goblin definitely isn't done. Jenna's X650, definitely not done. The Goldwing, the Raspberry Buffet, that's doing all right now. Her Pacific Coast 800, have you ever done a name reveal on this thing yet? Okay, well, sorry, I'll bleep that out. The Pacific Coast 800, ready to rock and roll. The mail order Glide, doing just fine. Gonna need an oil change before we head out. I don't know, mail order Glide, the Bangkok Bagger. So that just leaves one crusty motorcycle that's forever in need of repair and isn't in here right now. Let's go for a ride on Barf Party. Well, Barf Party ain't exactly batting 1,000 lately. The last couple times I've taken it out, it has broken down each time. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Woo. Woo. Shit fire, boys! I do love me some FXR. Rusty Glide rides again. Might have been down in the 40s last time I had this sucker out, but feels good in shirt sleeves now. Well, now that all the work is out of the way, all the banging my head against the wall trying to get my Goldwing ready to go, and which I had to, because everyone's just like, oh, you got this new Goldwing, goodbye Raspberry Buffet. Like, no way, man. That thing carried my carcass across the country and back. I ain't getting rid of that bike. Got the front brakes all sorted out on Shay's Pacific Coast 800. What a ridiculous motorcycle that is. I'm proud of her for getting it, not only getting it, but working on it, and she's gonna step up to the challenge of riding crappy sub $2,000 bikes very long distances. I dig it. So all that stuff is out of the way, stuff that needed to get done, but isn't exactly the most fun stuff to do in the world. Stuff I couldn't have any distractions around for, but right about now, I think I'm ready for a distraction. Let's go see what Cassidy's up to. Yeah, I've been a good boy, all day. All today and all yesterday. I think it's time to go call up Abduxuals and have a little fun. All right, picking up Cassidy. Are you excited? Because you're riding on the FXR and you're the one who fixed it. So back at it on a bike that you're responsible for.
If anything goes wrong, hey, at least I can pass the buck.
Hey, I was about to say you tightened everything, so I didn't finalize it.
Spoken like a true member of Shadetree Army. Pass the buck.
Pass the blade. All right.
You ready to rock and roll, girl?
Here.
Dude, shirt sleeves at 9 o'clock at night? Man, that's why we love Florida. Heading out to Ybor City with Cassidy on the back. Hey, she fixed the FXR. She should get to ride it, right? Basically what I'm saying is, hey, Cassidy, you're responsible for this mess. So you got to ride on the back of it. As it always seems, it's a tumultuous road that leads up to the end of this video, but at the end of it, I'm feeling good, baby. I'm having fun. I got a pretty girl in the back of an ugly bike. We're going to have a cold beer. The weather's beautiful. The bike's running. You know what? No matter what life throws at me, I always kind of step back and say, it ain't that bad, baby. It ain't that bad. Ybor City just a little bit calmer here on a Monday night. I like it a little better that way, but that's just me. Don't get me wrong, I love a party just as much as the next guy, but what was happening on these streets over Super Bowl weekend, not my scene.
So loud. It's so fucking loud. Oh my god.
It's just like if they weren't gonna look at us already with you on the back, they're definitely looking.
See it now.
It did look like they might not be open. Unfortunately, Zydeco is closed, so we'll search better fortunes in Seminole Heights. Can't win them all. I can't get everything I want. I got a running bike, a pretty girl. I couldn't get a beer where I wanted to, but luckily, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I think we'll still have some luck. Are you okay? Are you getting cold?
I'm back here like
You're
keeping me warm.
Okay. I'm very wide. Just hide behind me.
Hopefully he likes this table because there's a heater right there. I think it's perfect. So hopefully he'll just sit down and be like, yes, this is the table. Are you listening?
No, I just realized I can't carry the beers if I have my helmet in my hand.
Oh. Well, I think he heard me. Welcome to my channel, Queen of Shit. I think I'm getting the hang of this whole YouTube and camera stuff, right? I'm becoming a character. A character. I could just talk like this and say, you know, hello, it's the Queen of Shit channel. How you doing, mate? It's my channel. This is my channel. I'm good at what I do. Cheers,
Damn,
mate.
Dude. All right, guys, I think that's going to about do it for this episode. We didn't get to go where we wanted to, but that's okay. Life is full of compromises.
We had vegan tacos, so it's perfect.
I shouldn't say that every time. Yeah, I might not be a vegan myself, but you know, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Like I said, that's going to about do it for this episode. Don't forget to vote for Cassidy. She's still in the running for Inked Magazine cover girl.
Because of you guys.
Because of you guys. And I keep telling you guys how cool it would be to see somebody from Shadetree Army, somebody from the channel, somebody that we picked make the cover. So keep on voting. You guys, so far we're doing a kick-ass job and she's staying at #1, but again, I want to stick it to these guys and all these freaking like insta famous girls that think they're freaking cooler than us motorcycle YouTube people and get Cassie on the cover. I think it'd be pretty freaking cool. Till next time, y'all, keep it weird.